guys, the rivalry is about to continue. We've got here our second quarterfinal match in the red, in the top left. It's NC Sports Serral. And his opponent in the bottom right side in the blue, representing Big Esports. It is Showtime. Of course, Berlin International Gaming. And he actually chose Berlingrad as map 1. So I'm not sure if he just wants to show some love for his team, or maybe the competitor does just enjoy the map layout. And I think that's just kind of interesting because it's a medium-sized map. It's not super large. It doesn't have the crazy base count of some of these big maps like Glittering Ashes. And this, of course, is going to be our map with some lovely doggos on it. I thought Serral was a dog killer for a moment. I was like, no, because I didn't see one, but there it is. There's one. Showtime, of course, keeps his doggos alive. Not quite German Shepherds, but he's not going to go after them. Spawning pool, and the drone gets a bit of a surround. Does force that probe out of the mineral line. This is, of course, the first game of this best of 5. Oh! Was that Showtime killing his dog, though, or did Serral kill his own one? Oh, my lord. We just saw a dog explode. And a tick gets put down on the ground by Showtime. Finally! We're seeing people take the critters out. I've been asking for it for a long time. To spam those clicks, get those critters down. But on the bots, not on the dogs. Now, there's a common misconception because you can't actually select those dogs. You can't click on them. It won't kind of select them. You see, I select a probe, we see probe. I select a hatchery, we see hatchery. You can't do that with the dogs. Yet when you're left clicking on them, it still does left click. So you actually spam it 15, 20 times, bam, it blows right up. Showtime, though, like I said, bit of a dog lover. He likes having a little mascot in the mineral line, just kind of hanging out, cheering on his probes, and he will be going for a rather standard Stargate opening. Now, that Stargate is going to be following up. I think we're seeing double Adept chrono. Oh, okay, I think he likes the Adept rush distance, but he didn't open the minerals, did he? So this is odd. Showtime should have opened these minerals so we could get the Adept in there faster, if you ask me. Bit of a mistake, I do believe. It is only 5 minerals on those mineral patches. And definitely something you want to open up as Terran to get your Reaper across, as Protoss to get your Adept across faster. Second Adept coming out to join it. Stargate is, of course, almost finished behind that. And he actually cancels the second Adept. So he's hoping Serral's Zerglings come in. The Zergling saw the Adept shade out. He's like, what? I thought you left the base. Showtime says, it was a trap, mate. I wanted you to send this Zergling in, you idiot. Showtime, of course, gets a single 25 kill Zergling for that. It's not the biggest deal. It just denies Serral scouting for another 20 or 30 seconds. And, oh, he gets a creep tumor. Oh, Showtime is on point right now. These two have been having some close series recently. Showtime is one of the few players we got to ask at the end of his group. I remember to ask, oh, you know, who do you want to fight? Or is there anyone you want to avoid? And he said, you know, just avoid Serral, really. You know, those games are so kind of arduous. They're such wars. They're so difficult. And, you know, I almost beat him, but didn't quite the last time. So I'd probably skip playing Serral. And then literally 30 seconds later, I was like, oh, actually, you're playing Serral. So I hadn't looked at the way the brackets came out yet. But the Nexus was going down there on time. What do we got? Stargate Oracle's almost out. Second gateway there as well. We've got extra drones on the way. And this looks pretty good so far. Just, you know, a couple Zerglings, a tumor. But will the Oracles be able to stack up on it? I mean, I think he probably saw those Oracles with the Overlord. He definitely sees the Stargate now. And, oh, the Adepts are going to go on in, see if they can cause a bit of a ruckus. 2 Adepts go into the main base. The Oracles are going to follow this up. So if they can cause a bit of havoc, then maybe the Oracles can find damage behind it. Make it 5 kills, and that will be all for now. He's going to go for the third base. The Spore's not ready. Ooh, I actually think the Spore's the best target. Overlord sees him. And he did not know the Overlord had seen him. So Serral should be well prepared. He's not going to find anything. And despite hiding these Oracles so well, Showtime has to just leave. They're still alive. It's not the end of the world, but definitely nice control for Serral. Over the map, over this area. And Oracle's going to come over here from the third. And saves the Adept. Showtime there, a man of efficiency. Keeps the Adept alive at just very low hit points. Those Zerglings going to be forced to retreat. Forge, Robo, and a third gateway all on the way right now. That Overlord's still seeing everything. So Showtime, he's playing very efficiently on the offense in the engagements, but he's not denying any of Serral's scouting. And that will be a problem, because Serral, when he knows everything that's happening, is a force to be reckoned with. He's so hard to stop, and Right now he's got Zerglings outside the base. He's just looking for an opening. Oracles will go in. They'll get 1, 2. Almost loses an Oracle for just 2 drones. Not amazing. And it's going to be a quick Robo Bay for Showtime. Okay, so Showtime here is not expecting Serral to play Mutas. If Serral drops the Spire straight away, I actually think this is amazing for him. I think it's a really good setup for him. Just because it's so ground-focused and not that much scouting beyond the Oracles in the follow-up. The lair has finished, guys. We don't see a Spire just yet. 4th base goes down in the bottom left here for Serral. Oracle's coming in one more time. They're going to find 1 drone, 2 drones. Yeah, not bad. I mean, just little bits of chip damage, and of course, the units lost tab. Still good for Showtime overall. Sending out a pair of hallucinations. Spire and Infestation Pit go down. And it's out the front. So this seems like it's very exposed, but that's the last place that you tend to check as the Protoss play. Normally, it's along the back, and that's where you're going to be most actively scouting. So sometimes the least obvious place at super high levels is right out front, your natural. And the Hallucinated Phoenix coming on in. Woo! Okay, Queen's going to push him back. Not going to see too much. Guys, there is still an Overlord. The same Overlord just in the main. He hasn't made a single Stalker to kill it. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. He's going to try and push with a set of units over here. Has forced some Roachling out of Serral. If he can force a Ravager Morph, it weakens the Spire transition so much. Yeah, this is a good push for Showtime, but Serral not taking the bait, not making any Ravagers just yet. Oh, and Serral's already got a Hive on the way? So he's not planning to go Mutas. The Spires are fake. Not that it's been seen. You can still use it for Broodlords, of course. It's just a lot earlier than it's needed. Roachling running around. Serral does not have the craziest work account, and this is a very Serral thing to do. Right where Raynor would see an opportunity to go 85 drones and get a bit ahead and be a little greedy, and then be able to start throwing those units into wild run-bys, wild Baneling attacks. Serral's the sort of guy to just keep on building the perfect army and look for the perfect engagements, and he does squeeze 10 Mutas out, but it's going to be 1 squad of tactical Mutas, and that's it. 1 Phoenix out, not going to be enough. 13 Mutas now. Looks like Serral senses opportunity, and that's charged. That is not Blink. It's a DT Shrine as well. Okay, this is looking kind of awkward. If Showtime doesn't push really soon, like, and I say really soon, I mean right now, before the Mutas get to him. The Mutas are flying out. He needs to go right now. Those Mutas are flying across the map from all over the place. They're going towards his 3rd, which only has a cannon and a battery at it. He will start pushing forward, but the Mutas are coming in. They're going to cause some damage on him. I don't know if Showtime realizes these Mutas are on their way in right now. And oh my lord, he's completely undefended at home. He's going to try to push forwards to make up for the fact that he's getting massacred because he has nothing at home to deal with the Mutalisks. What's he got? He's got 1 Phoenix and it's going to die almost instantly. I think this is just a massive win for Serral, who just managed to hide what he was doing. Showtime could not quite figure it out. He probably saw that Hive and was more convinced than ever that this was some sort of Broodlord or Lurker play. But look at this, guys. The Mutas have just ransacked the main completely. And I mean, this is a bit of a disaster for Showtime, who's going to have to tap out. And looks like we've got these players there. Just a great way to start things off for Serral. Alright, we're gonna go into 2,000 atmospheres, and down here in the bottom left side of the map, a commanding Game 1 victory. Can he keep it up? This is NC Sports Serral. And up here in the top right side in the blue, it is Showtime. 2,000 atmospheres is a map. It is a map which is, of course, on the bottom of the ocean, but it's also a map which means it's very hard to attack in here. It's a very long rush distance across the map. It's very hard to attack up that choke point. And also pushing into this Nexus, it can seem easy, but the Protoss often has the Nexus almost acting like a semi-wall, and the army can kind of retreat towards this ramp. And actually getting around an army can be very elusive with any sort of mid-game timing. And as a result, it isn't until the players take these edge bases where things open up a little bit more. That is in the more standard situations anyway, but Serral is a timing attack master these days. He's very keen on his Nidus Worm. He really likes to try and push things forwards. And I think that last game was really well done. He didn't drone that hard, but yeah, the Hive was just such a trick, essentially. It was like, okay, this Spire is going to go way out front the natural. You're never going to spot it. It seems so kind of simple, but it's just that preparation of like, hey, you're going to scout everywhere in the back. You're not going to scout the front of my natural. And I wonder if Showtime did a quick rewind and checked, because I think you always should in that scenario. Go, where was the Spire? When did that go down? How much was he banking for that? Because a Zerg does not just get 1,400 minerals and 1,400 gas out of nowhere. Not to mention the 200 before that to build the Spire. So 3,200 resources all being invested in something without you realizing it. Something that at this level of play you are meant to be able to catch on to. Of course, Showtime had a pretty clean early game. It did look like he wanted to play that ground style with the Zealot. He had six Stalkers, actually, which is kind of funny, but he didn't have Blink. So it really felt like Showtime was almost trying to trick Serral at multiple points. Like, hey, look, I'm going Robo Bay, I'm playing, you know, Blink Stalker. But then it was kind of like a Zealot Immortal push almost for the most part. And Showtime there kind of playing a bit of a mix of two different styles and throwing it together. Serral catching him out with the mutas and not having to play a much longer game. The Roachling fantastic on the defense. And going towards this third base up front. Going to take the triangle as Showtime hunts the map for any Zerglings that are out there. Adepts moving forward down the right side. And of course, this is, of course, a tournament, everybody, which is kind of layered into a week of just non-stop play for these players. A week, probably a month, honestly. Even when season finals was over, I think a lot of the players kind of went, oh, cool, we can heave a sigh of relief. But little did they realize they've got TSL qualifiers, King of Battles qualifiers. They got this tournament, Home Story Cup last weekend. So many awesome events on, but it does end up draining them a little bit. It also ends up putting them all in expert practice form and in a point where they've all played each other so much in recent history that there is such a deep knowledge of what the other player is going to do that there are these very tailored kill moves both sides are bringing out and just smacking each other. Oh, those Adepts are going to dive. 3 Adepts coming on in. Doesn't look like he's going to commit to it, and I think that's a good idea. Remember, the Adepts got surrounded in that last game. They didn't find the move. The Nexus is up there as well. We've got another Oracle on the way. Extra Gateway finishing up in the natural. The Adepts are going to work their way around the left side as well. Oracle's going to pair up with this. The Queen's a bit too far out front, maybe? No. I think this is a good way to do it. As Showtime, don't overcommit there. Serral is clearly so ready. 12 Zerglings, 5 Queens. I like the poking, the pressuring, the keeping Serral uncomfortable. But it feels like, you know, there's the threat of the Protoss pouncing. I think Showtime, though, is very relaxed in this scenario, not actually wanting to pounce. Now, the Oracles can join up. I'd love to see them cut in on the rally point. Yeah, look at it. He's going in between the bases. Comes in behind the mineral line. Ooh, doesn't get much. 2 drones. And taking some damage. So he's got to get... Excuse me, guys. Got to get out of there as quick as possible. Once again, Overlord in the base. Doesn't want to invest in that Stalker to deal with that. That Stalker, that Void Ray, that Phoenix. This time around, Showtime's like, okay, no. Not again, bro. Not again. We can't give Serral too much info. Those Adepts thinking about going in, not actually doing it. I love this sort of play. This is one of my favorite styles of PvZ, where you just never let the Zerg be comfortable. The Oracles are so active. 1, 2, 3, 4 drones goes down. Thinks about going in the main. Sees the Queen, backs on out for now. And the Adepts, they can fall back and defend the third as well. So this is actually awesome. Immortals on the way. Forge finishing up. We've got a Gateway about to finish up in the main base. That'll bring it up to 3 Gateways for Showtime. Looks like he wants to play a similar style to that last game. I would not be surprised to see a Robo Bay drop down before a Twilight Council. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, this looks like the build from last game, so it's fascinating. These players all seem to have their like favorite path of tech that they like to go. Bit of a deviation from Serral though. Quick OV speed. So having his Overlord denied, I think he wants a little bit more scouting. He goes Infestation Pit. No Spire investment this time around for Serral. 4th base down there in the bottom right side. Ooh, that Queen. She's out. She's out in the middle of nowhere. Showtime will say, yep, yes please. I'll take it. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, Serral's game was pretty good. Showtime's game was pretty good last game, but I look at this and I go, ah, that's very, very satisfying, isn't it? Man, the crazy thing is, though, this creep spread, this map control, I still think Serral can absolutely just, you know, say, that's fine. I'm going to make a hive. I'm going to make a spire. So it is a Broodlord spire. Once again, out front in the base. The Phoenix going to come in. They're like, hey, where's your tech? They don't see it. He's looking. He's looking around the backside. But Serral has figured out the secret, guys. There is a blind spot for Protoss right in front of their eyes. Showtime unable to find this again and again. And obviously, it's not as much of a super crazy quick spire that's there to surprise, but is this still a rather fast Broodlord transition we will be seeing? Oh, Showtime should be pushing this back. Yeah, I think he lost a few more units than he should have there. It's only 2 Adepts and a Sentry. I guess it doesn't really matter as he recalls some army, making sure he doesn't get taken out. That Overseer in the main, I'm going to have a cannon built underneath it. DT Shrine does go down for Showtime here as well. Bailing Nest, Evo Chamber, number 2 going down. +1 range is almost finished. Now +2 does start up for Showtime. I think we saw Broodlords come out a few different times in this tournament. And usually the secret is if you can... Oh, he missed the Spire! The Oracles are diving. He's like, dude, where is your tech? Are you just playing Broodlords off this? Like, what are you... is it Ultras? Is it Broods? Like, what are you doing? He has no confirmation of... Oh, no. Serral! His stupid Overlord! His Overlord got tagged, and it went to the rally point, and it flew right over the Greatest Spire. Serral just scouted his own Greatest Spire for Showtime. How often do you see that? Oh, that's actually hilarious. I don't know if Showtime realized. Let's go to Showtime's camera and see if he's, like, glancing at it at all. Oh, 2 Oracles go down. He does get 9 drones, 10 drones. And he's looking, oh, his Prism's almost out, so he's gonna push pre-Broodlord anyway. So I think this is timed out okay, guys, for Showtime to push pre-Broodlord and force, like, even if he just forces more Ravagers to morph, that's less Broodlords. Banelings, Ravagers morphing, that means he's got no gas for Broods. So already, just by threatening the push, at this moment, Showtime has actually already made that transition so much worse for Serral. Fantastic timing on the push for Showtime, who is up on 81 probes, 4 bases, and he's got a very powerful army here. No blink, remember, guys. No blink with this army. Showtime has decided, just get the balls. Who needs blink? Blinks for pansies. I'm going to get charged first to reinforce this army with some awesome fighting units. That Immortal gets abducted, and some Biles do scare him back for the moment. Got a couple Overseers hanging out on his side of the map. They will get Contaminated Energy if they're able to hang there long enough. Templar Archives is on the way for Showtime. He wants a counter to deal with those Vipers. High Templar with feedback going to be the way to do it. First 4 Corruptors on the way. Looks like he cancelled something else that he was building. Oh, ball! Ooh, 2 Ravagers go flying as well as a few other units. I love that the Prism picks it up and saves it to get it out of abduct range. Very nicely done as his Queens were attacking each other. I could hear Queens attacking. Sorry for the jagged camera movements. I was like, I hear Queens fighting. I just don't know where. And then we see Serral transfuse one of his own Queens. Maybe a few little odd, uncharacteristic errors there for Serral. Nothing game-changing or gigantic, but just a little surprising there. Shows maybe a little bit of disorganization happening. Broodlords are morphing here as well. 6 Spine Crawlers, 26 Zerglings on the way. Zealots moving to the left side. We've got those High Templar coming in for the feedback. Oh, Vipers in the open. One of them goes down before the fight even barely starts. Archon's coming in to support this. Watch out for the balls. The balls there. Okay, one of them's being baited. Zealots on the left side defended. That Greatest Spire, you know, so clever to hide it. Does look like it could go down to a Zealot run by at almost any moment. 6 DTs warp in where? Okay, so he's going DT Archons to save gas. Oh, right. Okay, so people were pointing this out in chat. I was saying I didn't actually get to see their last epic best of 5. People were saying he loves the DT Archons to save on the gas, even though they're mineral expensive, to buff out his army. And look how tanky they are. And the Disruptors are able to scare back the ground army. Are they, though? Uh-oh. That's so many Banelings, Tasteless. Whoa. Oh, my lord. Serral. He says the answer is Banelings. More Banelings than you've ever seen. Enough acid to blot out the sun. You can't even dodge with blink. And he just rolls over that army of Showtime. I mean, the thing is... Oh, big ball. Giant ball, in fact. A fantastic hit there. It is what it is, though, as at the end of the day, you see what happens. Even though those banelings individually are not cost efficient, it's the fact that they break the army apart, and that allows the Lings, the Ravagers, the Broodlords to overwhelm everything else. So a very good fight for Serral, and honestly, Showtime was a little light on splash damage. 1 or 2 storms, 1 or 2 extra disruptor shots as the banelings came forward, even just to break up the advance and force the spreads, would have made that much better for Showtime, but he doesn't manage to get it. And now Showtime finds himself in a bit of a desperate circumstance because the 5th base is denied. He's having to go Tempests as an intermediary response to the Broodlords, which absolutely can work, don't get me wrong. But I feel like when you open Tempest, you don't even have carriers for them to worry about. It gives the Zerg an easier transition into Infestors. He's going Pathogen Glands, into mass Spores, mass bases of his own, all that sort of stuff. So definitely a bit of a hard situation for Showtime, who's going to send a Zealot drop out the left. He's going to try and reestablish the base on the right side. And he's got 2 Tempests. He's going up to 4 Tempests right now. It is, of course, 5 Tempests with +1, the magic number to one-shot Broodlords. He's got to defend an onslaught on the ground in the meantime. A lot of Ling Ravagers, some Banelings coming in as well. The Oracle going to spot this. Turn on its laser beam. It's got to get fighting. Ooh, Zealot Cannon. Battery is here as well. DT's warping in. This actually doesn't look like a great attack for Serral. Yeah, good choice to pull that back. It's a distraction though, kind of, to some extent. Okay, what can he find? These are +1 Banelings, not +2. As I say, that +2 kicks in. Still only 10 probes. That's fine. That's actually fine for Showtime. He can just transfer workers. He's got, you know, more than enough on these other bases. And if he keeps this 5th base alive, this base alive on the left as well, then Showtime will be able to recover and play that late game. And it's like units lost tab. You know, it's pretty even on both sides. And Showtime's even going to get together the balls to push here. He doesn't have any disruptors, which is a little frightening. But there's also not that much anti-air for Serral. I mean, what's Serral's anti-air? He's going to have to just go Corruptors. And he's doing it off 1 Spire. So it still feels like Serral's kind of in the mid-game, wanting to take a mid-game sort of fight where Ravagers and Lings overwhelm the ground army. And then the Broodlords and the Fungals deal with the splash damage and so on. But it is a little dangerous, especially as Void Rays come out to counter those Corruptors. A lot of it will come down to how well the spellcasters land. 1 Viper still in the army. You land that Parasitic Bomb Fungal. Tempests, Void Rays will disappear. Prism in the back of the base there as well. Got the DT there and the Phoenix in the top left, just hanging out, denying bases, I guess. +2 air weapons. F Veins on the way. Gonna speed up those Void Rays a fair bit. Burrow, Neural Parasite, +2 Carapace, +3 melee, +1 air armor. Still only 1 Spire for Serral, which I guess is the thing I'm a bit surprised at. I feel like this game's going to go long. Why not go into more air? But Serral just seems to have that as a slightly lower priority than a few of the other Zergs do. He says, you know what? I'm getting Ultra Cavern. I'm focusing on doing what I can do first and foremost. We'll add that later on. +2 Plasma Shields on the way for Showtime. Showtime 1, who is always paying attention to all those different little upgrades. You can see he's on 12 gateways right now. Not that much static for either player. 13 spores, 7 spines versus 13 cannons and 2 batteries. As this game goes on, those numbers could blossom. Serral's going to try and take the top left base. Phoenix does spot it. Queen's trying to spread creep forwards, and that's something that's very useful for map control. If you can just get creep out far enough, it gives you a big advantage in these fights. Showtime does not want this Phoenix alive anymore, sending it in to die. Of course, it will eventually die, but for now, it's going to kill what it can. It looks like this drone burrowed in the top left after getting caught. Very cute. Oh, some nice storms. And maybe, I think Showtime could take this fight. Yeah. It's running away for now. I think Serral, though, definitely with the weaker mobile army, especially with that Zealot warp in. And he does burrow that drone one more time after being forced to cancel the hatchery. The Broodlords aren't here, guys. They're down in the bottom right. But with more Zerglings coming out, Showtime does need to keep these Stalkers alive. Time to pull back. Blinks the Stalkers back for now. Zerglings on top of him. Does lose 1 or 2 of these Stalkers before more Zealots can get in there. And this is kind of funny. When you have these immobile armies, the Broodlords, Infestors, the Tempests, the Storm, you have those on one side kind of in a standoff. And you end up with this like little 20 or 30 supply squads fighting really hard. And neither of you wants to pull your other army out of position to help, because then your opponent can push forward, wipe out half of the map for you very quickly, pull back, and it's like, you know, a massive overcommitment to one side. This drone here, Billy Bob the drone, still just poking his head up, trying to take a hatchery whenever he can. Serral would love to take a corner base. I think he should take the bottom right, since I do still think Serral has a bit more bank, a bit more of a forward position. Doesn't quite get the Archon morph, but I still think a totally fine fight for Showtime, because Storms are pretty good. Overall units lost tab is better for Serral, though. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa! Showtime gets caught! Oh, damn, he loses 1 Void Ray, 2 Void Rays. Could have been even worse there if it wasn't for his quick reaction with the recall. The Spine Crawler on the left there. Oh, Serral got that Brood War Space Cow. He's got 1 Ultra there in the mix as well. Great upgrades for Serral. 3-2 Adrenal. And he's got the Chitinous Plating for the Ultras. He's got +3 Carapace coming in as well. And he's now adding that second Spire for more air upgrades. In terms of ultimate comp, 2 Vipers, 4 Infestors, 8 Corruptors, 9 Broodlords, and more Corruptors and Ultras on the way. We do not have a single carrier out for Showtime. And knowing Showtime, I do think he feels a little uncomfortable with this sort of setup. I know that he loves getting carriers up in the past, and maybe his views on that have changed recently, but not having that kind of general problem unit, the carrier, to just mess up the AI and everything for the Zerg and just to be annoying, it just makes your army a little simpler to deal with. It doesn't necessarily make it worse, of course. It all comes down to how you micro in the situation, but the carriers are such a big complication for the opponent with the way they spam out those interceptors, and I think that's the big thing which is missing for like killing infestors and queens. Oh, that's a great fungal. Gets a parasitic bomb out. Oh, doesn't quite get the fungal on the High Templar. Eats a big storm on the Broodlords, but he loses so many Void Rays. A bad fight for Showtime. And he loses that Observer as well by the looks of it. So a lot of units going down. But you know what? Showtime pushes the bottom right side. He's got a little bit of bank to work with. He can replace those Void Rays rather quickly. He does not want to lose this top left base, but I think he's going to give it up. Showtime realizing that these negative units lost trades are going to be really bad if this game goes much longer. Ultraling Bane! Ooh, oh, that's a scary force. But you know what? There's quite a few Archons in there. Banelings get okay hits, but with the Void Rays as well. I think this is a good move from Showtime. He realizes, okay, you're killing my top left. I got to get in here, do some damage on the other side, and he does scare that army back. But of course, Serral will send some Zerglings up to finish the Nexus. They'll easily take that down. As Showtime... Oh, he sends his probes back to mine. Oh, that's no good. Oh, look how fast they die to Adrenal +3 Zerglings. They just disappear. Going for Oracles is Showtime. He's building a few more Void Rays and Archons right now. So lots of splash damage reliance from Showtime. He's going to try to use Storms, Archons. Tempest picking away from afar. Once again, I've got to worry just a little bit about that lack of carriers. But you know what? Void Ray is much more suited to fighting Corruptors nonetheless, especially if you can spread them against those spells. It's kind of like using Charge Zealots. You can't let the Void Rays go in front of your army. You often want to keep them in reserve as sort of a squad to come in once your opponent jumps on top of you. Oh, you can also use them this way. Hello, Mr. Showtime. He sneaks up into the top left, comes in. He's going to take out the Spore and then the Hatchery. Oh, is he? Is he, though? He's not going for the hatch. Meanwhile, oh, he catches the Broodlords out. Ambush! Ambush! He blinks forward, gets a Storm, gets some Tempest Focus Fire, kills a bunch of those Broodlords, gets the hatch in the top left, and 11 drones. Showtime with a fantastic maneuver. Serral immediately springs into action and says, we've got to answer fire with fire of our own, mate. Goes in here, Link Bane, he's going to find those probes. Oh no, Serral, hungry Baneling, a game he grew up playing over there in Finland. And oh, big Broodlord storms though. More Broodlords are about to finish morphing. He's got to defend his Tempest from the Corruptors. Does Showtime, he's done a lot of damage here. Oh, the Void Ray Archon blitzing those Corruptors down though. Oh my gosh, the Broodlords are starting to cleanse Showtime's ground army. He's taking massive damage on the ground. That's a problem. Oh, big storm though. And that base does get defended. The Ultras having to come in to help that out. The Void Rays are coming south. They want to help as well. 11 more Corruptors being made. Both players' bank just got wiped out there. Showtime with a great set of fights. But remember that his economy is not good. Let's be real. Serral's economy just got shot on as well though. 41 drones versus 49 probes. Showtime actually has more workers right now. He's mining more right now. He's looking for the engagement. The Void Rays go in with the Prismatic Alignment. The Corruptors have to get out of there. He's got to focus the Broodlords, I think. Oh, Parasitic Bomb Fungal. The Corruptors are trying to evade these Void Rays. Meanwhile, Ultralisk Carcasses are going spinning. The Immortals are beating the Ultras. The Void Rays do get held off, though. The Spellcaster's looking very good for Showtime there. We've got to... I cannot believe we just saw an Ultra Carcass go spiraling. We've got to replay, like, and watch that again later on. I don't think I've seen an Ultra spiral like that before. Corruptors are going to get some more units on Showtime's retreat. But, dude, Showtime is given as good as he gets. And one more High Templar goes down to those Broodlings. He's definitely down in the units lost. But Serral's economy is not very flexible. In this top left side, I was about to say, Zealots or DTs hitting that base could be deadly. Zerglings see it coming. He's going to try and get up there, but he doesn't have a mobile army, guys. Ultras are not that fast, and they're blocked by the Infestors. Get out of the way, slugs. Let those Ultras up there. Thankfully, nice burrow from Serral. Serral burrows that top left base and keeps those alive. He will lose the hatch, but the Zealots will get out of there. Showtime can't afford to throw units away either, remember. Now, I don't know if Showtime should be taking this base, because Showtime has got that bottom right. Actually, and Serral knows about it. Oh, maybe he's just like, look, I can't defend it. Give it up. Take the top left. But right now, movement seems to be Showtime's friend. Feedbacks. Storm on the Broodlords. Mama! She goes down. Okay, Mama gets focused down. Okay, this looks good for Serral. This looks good for Serral. He's up 37 army supply right now. Showtime needs to pull back for a moment. And these Zerglings, if they get even 5 or 10 probes, 5 or 10 probes is a significant part of the economy. The Zealots say, no, 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 no. We are ready for that, Mr. Serral. But he's got to put a cannon down now. The Zerglings burrowing so annoying for Showtime to deal with. Oh, watch out, watch out. Feedback. Oh, wrong spell. Wrong spell.
Game paused.
Hotkeys messed up. That was meant to be a feedback. Oh, his sound died. Okay, something did throw him off there. His sound died for a moment. He probably just unplugged his headset or something like that. Poof. Okay. All right. Ooh, okay, looking at the players' faces, I mean, Serral looks like he's in Omega focus mode, but let's be real, that's Serral always. Showtime looks like he's definitely fighting his heart out right now, but it's a very, very tough position to fight back from. Oh, Space Cows coming in, but great movement. Showtime gets here, intercepts, and he does keep this bottom right base alive. That's really important because he is clawing his way back up. Serral's economy is not great, guys. It's look, I got 4 mineral patches, 4 mineral patches. This base getting up is very good for him, though. It's very, very good. Now, ooh, Showtime's got to be a bit careful, though. Okay, so, you know what's crazy, guys? I was there like, he's missing the carrier. Showtime is like, carriers are the worst unit in the game. Tempests are the best. Everything you've been saying about PvZ for the last year is so wrong, Pig. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay with learning that lesson from you, Toby. I'm okay with learning that lesson, all right? It may rely on having your mechanics to take these fights this well and to move around the map this well, but yeah, I mean, the way he's doing is it's High Templar Archon, which is great splash damage, and then it's Tempest to pick off things from afar, Vipers, Broodlords, and Void Rays to just kind of say, Corruptors, you can't engage unless we make the mistake of clumping up and getting hit by Fungal Parasitic Bomb. So it's kind of interesting to see exactly how he's going to do it, but he's going to get a chance to remax. Serral has not focused on rebuilding his economy one iota, guys. He is in this state of just constantly focusing on army, and the next fight will 100% decide this game, because Showtime will catch up to an almost equal army supply. Serral will be slightly ahead because he has less workers. They'll both have next to no bank to rebuild. The next big battle will decide the game. This is a skirmish. This is only small sections of their army. None of the flying units here for either side. Yeah, this still can be very impactful. Nice move back there. Shield battery would be nice as well, to be honest, because Adrenal Zerglings are very scary. That Zealot does go down. Showtime's going to try and take this base. Oh, this is actually so funny that we're splitting the right and left of the map, potentially. The players, normally you split this diagonally, but Serral has now taken the top left. Showtime's taken the bottom right, and they've said, that's fine. You take left, I take right. Oracle gets a great tag. Watch out. Ooh, that Broodlord only took 2 shots there. Oh, watch for the storm, watch for the storm, watch for the feedbacks. Both sides are looking for those big spells, Transfuse, keeping those alive. And, oh, he gets a Viper! Big pick off there for Showtime. Now, Showtime still has 13 Zealots in the army. He doesn't have many Archons. That's what's missing. I think he's way down in supply. Showtime needs to disengage and remax. He's down 35 army supply. If he forces a fight right now, he will get wrecked. He actually needs like 6 Archons, because if he doesn't have Archons, the Ultras and the Lings will overwhelm his High Templar, and he'll be in big trouble. He needs 1 or 2 more High Templar, I think, so he has Extra Storm and a bunch of Archons to tank. His 10 Void Rays, where are they? They're just... Okay, so he just has them clicked on a Tempest, so they automatically follow. You can notice a lot of the time when he's moving his army around, he'll get the Void Rays and he'll click them on a Tempest so that they don't automatically run ahead. He's not always doing it, but sometimes he's doing that as a precaution so they don't run off and get themselves killed, as they're way faster than the rest of the fleet. 5 more Void Rays on the way. Showtime's just going to go for winning the air battle. Now, that's always dangerous, because if you lose your High Templar before the Corruptors commit... Oh, no! Speak of the devil! Oh, he's still got 2 High Templar in the back. But, okay. Parasitic Bomb. Ooh, split. That Parasitic Bomb's doing some big damage. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. The bees! The bees do a lot of damage. Ooh, we get some feedbacks. They might have just been on... Okay, one was on a Viper. It's hard to say in those situations. Sometimes you might hit the Overseers instead. Okay, he's going to move some cannon battery up here, or just batteries for now, I should say. And how many Void Rays? He got 15 Void Rays. Mama's on the way as well. Now, for wondering, 15 Void Rays, do they beat 21 Corruptors? Well, guys, they've got equal upgrades. Actually, no air armor upgrades got made for Showtime. A little unfortunate. Not the biggest, most important thing. Let's just remember, though, that Void Rays take hard countering to a whole new level when they're versus Corruptors. Ooh, not when they're outnumbered like that, they don't. 3 Void Rays for free. He pushes the bottom at the same time. Ooh, okay, nice spread on the Void Rays. But Microbial Shroud's going down. Uh-oh, the Fungal's trapping Showtime in place. And his High Templar. His High Templar! If he loses those, the Corruptors can swoop in. The Corruptor's lagging behind this fight a little bit. But Showtime is so caught by the Fungal, his Tempest cannot get out of there. Storm comes forward, but the Broodlords take out the High Templar. Mama's here, but the Tempests are gone. Showtime overextending with that Void Ray run by Serral, too quick to snap it and to catch this army on the bottom with the Fungal. Showtime was like, I can push. Your Corruptors are in the very top of the map. Of course I can push. Serral said, no, I can chain Fungal you for the next 5 minutes straight, and you will not be able to leave. He even gets Mama down. Void Ray run by round 2. Does take out the hatchery in the north. But of course, Showtime taking a terrible trade, cost for cost, against the actual army. Now remember, Showtime's been ahead on economy this whole time, guys. Serral has not been building a good army. A good economy, sorry. He's only on 40 drones. He's focusing all on efficiency. He is the efficiency monster right now, and he has to be. That's why he's got this bank lead and this supply lead. Oh my god, Tempests in the open, but have the Void Rays with the punish. At least a few of those Corruptors do go down. And the mortal count's not bad as well for dealing with these Ultralisks. As a little bit of a hitch there, guys, but hopefully that settles. Ultralisk is there. Infestor's going to come forward. Ooh, okay, does not manage to get it. Zergling's there as well. Going to go for this round on the Zealots. And, ooh, okay. Not much to defend here. There's an Overseer, so DTs wouldn't help either. Oh, no. Showtime's probes. His probes are in trouble. Oh, no. Okay, Ultras are going to try and get some surrounds. They get 11 probes. They don't want to all die, though. Oh, the Corruptor Viper comes in looking for snipes. Tempest Void Ray does chase it back. 11 probes, not going to be a mortal blow just yet. That Ultra, sneaky Ultralist. Not so sneaky. There was a cannon on the high ground, mate. Good try, though. Good try. You wanted to live for a few more minutes. Weren't quite able to pull it off. And we've got Lings coming in on the north side as well. And apologies, guys. We are getting some hitches there. That is a physical in-game lag that we've got based on the server. Whoa, he's floating up! Oh my god, floating ribcage. Hidden ultra floating ribcage. That is what they call this game, guys. Broodlord's coming on forward. Corruptor's going after the Tempest as well. Ooh, Broodlord's chasing it back. Dude, the trades are just too good. Now that Serral has this middle of the map, like, Showtime needs to push him off this area because he can't rotate between the main and the bottom. And look at this, Serral's just holding this area and bullying him out of it. His Ling Ultra is smashing the top side of the map. And this is absolutely crushing for Mr. Serral. He is just getting further and further ahead. His bank grows. We talk about the Iron Bank of Terran being that endless loan that you can take out of the mass orbital command in the late game. Well, Serral doesn't need a loan. He doesn't need a bank. He literally has so much money stuffed in his Zerg mattress that he can buy a whole extra army. I mean, obviously, it's only 1,800 gas. Some nice feedbacks from Showtime. I've believed so much in Showtime for so long, but the last few minutes has been just technical dismantling by Serral. The way he has just constantly sent these units in, looked for the engagements wherever he can, using Burrow as annoyingly as possible, just trying to bait out extra time. And Showtime, he's going to lose his production, lose his pylons, and not be able to remax. This is basically Showtime's army. He is locked here, unable to spend his money. And Serral says, I still control the middle. And when I control the middle, it is very hard for you to engage. And part of me wonders, you know, with so few spores around, was a swap back into carriers possible? I don't think Showtime ever really had the money for that even to be an option. But storms, ooh, big storm on the Corruptors. Oh, they eat like an entire storm, basically. Those Corruptors taking a sloppy fight. One Broodlord shot gets in, does get one High Templar. And, ooh, okay, Abducts do finally go down. Takes out 2 of those Tempests. Very nice for Serral. Bit of a Zealot run by, does get caught down there in the bottom of the map at the same time. And we once again revisit the units lost tab. Oh, Showtime has lost 69,699 resources. I think, you know, it's paying a little bit of homage there to our prize pool, you know. It's very nice to see. This tournament, of course, thank you to the community, did get its prize pool up to $6,900. And Showtime here says, I may be losing this game, but I just want to say thanks to everyone out there in Chatland who did help make this happen. And this is, of course, not the end of the series. He will fight on from here, but Showtime is just outnumbered, outgunned. And look at that. Serral disengages. He says, let's just let the magic work. The Parasitic Bomb and the Fungal just wearing down that massive Void Ray count. As Yona there, as always, has to just kind of wipe the sweat off his brow after playing a late game ZvP. There was a big advantage for him earlier on, and he did almost let it slip away. And that is, of course, why there is a little bit of visible frustration. I think the point where Showtime kind of ambushed the Broodlords, pounced on a few different bases, was really a spectacular play, and almost got him back in the game. Duction. Oh my lord, we just had, I don't know if the stream caught that, but like, even in the loading screen, Serral had a bit of a facepalm there. Facepalm into tousle of the hair. Very Serral-esque to win games and look like he's lost them, I think. He's been looking kind of frustrated after that last game, despite being up 2-0. Looking at his camera, he looks like the guy who's losing the series. It is that special quality he has, where he demands absolute perfection from himself. He's not happy with how he played this series so far, despite being up 2-0. This is Serral. Now, his opponent in the bottom right side, cool, calm, and collected as always, but definitely realizing he has not just an uphill slog, but an uphill mountain climb ahead of him. This is Showtime from Big Esports. Now, Blackburn, of course, is our map that's carried over from the last season. We've got the gold base in the north. And this one, of course, is rotationally symmetrical rather than the normal symmetry, top right, bottom left. So it means a lot of the fighting is along this bottom corridor, and these 2 slow zones are very oppressive. What do I mean by that? I mean, you don't want to fight in here usually, unless you've got the longer range units defending melee units. Like, you're here with Storm or something, they're trying to run Ling Bane through there. Okay, cool. You're going to really enjoy them. But pushing through them, very difficult, and that's why opening these rocks up can be very important. Also, opening these rocks up to gain access to that gold base can also be nice. That being said, Serral, I do think he'll probably take the gold as a 4th base, but he very well may even just go ultra conservative and take the top right, just to avoid the fact that people can set up shop behind your mineral line. The gold base does sometimes end up being a bit of a trap, especially if you're behind. The gold base presents such an easy attack path for your opponent to punish you that it often backfires. Very standard opening from Showtime. That forward pylon makes me think we're going to see a Stargate and a Void Ray this time around. Showtime's been a bit more kind of just Adept Oracle in your face style, but yeah, definitely, I don't know. I think we might see a bit more of one of these standard Void Ray builds, which he really historically has shied away from. He doesn't really enjoy them all that much, but he definitely is an expert and he will mix them in. Zerglings here go from 50% slow reduction there. And of course, doesn't want to get taken out by the Adept. So Serral's not even going to try to scout this time. Just going to pull on back, take that third base. He's fully pulled off gas, optimizing the mineral mining. We'll see if he puts that back on. Usually it used to be 3 minutes 30 for a long time, but a lot of Zergs these days in this matchup, they know they're playing against Oracles and Adepts. They know they need Queens, Zerglings, and Drones, and they're doing kind of the Zerg versus Terran mode where it's like, I'm just going to delay putting back on that till 4 minutes, take a ton of Queens, ton of Zerglings, and defend, defend, defend. The first move out coming for Showtime. 2 Adepts going to pair on up. Of course, why are 2 Adepts such a magic number as they go? No, we'll just defend. It is, of course, 2 shot. 2 shots to kill a Zergling, 2 shots to kill a drone. This is the deadly number. And Void Ray will clean that Overlord up. Serral like, okay. Gonna play a Void Ray opening this time, no worries. Might just be 1. Knowing Showtime, 1 Void Ray into 2-3 Oracles would not be untoward. Wouldn't be the strangest thing for him to do as he moves out. He's gonna take that nice quick third base right on 346. Look into the light. Smile for the camera, guys. Void Ray is there. Oracle's gonna come around the back. No Spore Crawler, but the Queens are close enough. Great pull by Serral. Only loses 1 drone. Void Ray goes in towards the main base. Now this one's very hard to escape, and the creep says, "Hey, we see you coming, mate. You look for a drone if you can get one." And good pullback by Serral. Oh, he's so good. No freebies. This is the thing. You know, I feel like the first time you shop as a Protoss player at the Serral Zerg store, like you're used to going into places where there's constant discounts, there's constant freebies, there's things just, oh, this didn't get sold last season, it's half price. Hey, do you want 3 drones? I know you only wanted one, but would you like 3? And then you go to the Serral store and it's like going to a country that's just like way more expensive than your country, right? Like everything just costs 6 times as much. They don't give you anything for free, literally ever. And you're like, this place is shit. Like, I don't ever want to go back to the Serral store if I'm a Protoss player. Like, you're like, I'm used to playing other Zerg players. There's drones lying around on discount. I can kill Queens and Overlords for free. This Serral guy doesn't make mistakes. And in fact, guess what, guys? He's doing a Queenling Bane walk. He's making 35 Zerglings, melee, a Banus, and he's doing the Queenling Bane attack. Ooh, okay. Cannons, batteries going down with a bit of a spready. Void Rays being pumped here. Now, it's very hard to overwhelm this with Void Rays. We saw the way Zaun defended this move against Solar, and that was with perfect... Oh, he loses the Oracle. Big mistake. That's costly. Number 1, his Stasis Trap defended him really well. It blocked the first wave of Banelings, but other than that, Zaun, every single engagement, he focused down almost all the Banelings before they connected with anything. Every round of 6 or 7 Banelings after the first one, Solar would roll in, and Zaun would, like, kill everything, and 1 Baneling would hit 1 cannon. It was, like, wow, it was incredible. Showtime, though, going for the Queens for now. He's got to... Those Banelings need Focus Fire. He's doing lazy hold position, Michael. You got to Focus Fire the Banelings. Uh-oh. Oh, my lord. No Sentry Warping available. Uh-oh. Okay. Loses 6 probes. Could this work out, though? Could this work out? There's a Baneling in the main. There's a Baneling in the main. Ooh, only hits 2 probes, actually. Serral does not get the money hit there. 9 probes have already gone down, though. Devastating damage to begin with. But a lot of Zerglings and Banelings were exhausted for it. He's trying to repower here. More pylons going down. The Queens are in the wall. Showtime desperately dropping pylons to hang on. There's no cannons up in this natural, and that's a big mistake. You need a cannon in the natural. The third is looking absolutely unbreakable, in my opinion. Yeah, even with the Banelings going in, I think that's a bad attack angle for Serral. The cannons clean up so much Ling Bane. Guys, I actually think he holds now. Yeah, with Void Ray Battery, he slaughters the Queens on the ramp. The Ling Bane should have gone into the natural. Oh, man. Showtime just shut that down. Dude, letting them in, like I said, maybe it's kind of a trap because there's that thing where if you extend in ahead of the queens, the Lingbane, it just all gets cleaned up by the Void Rays. If he got like 3 or 4 more Banelings in, connected with the probes a bit better, he kills 35 probes there. It's game over. But now the Void Ray is like, oh, hello. Did you want to just come across and kill me by walking your tier 1 macro unit across? Well, you know what? I can't attack with my Chrono Boost, mate, but I can attack with my Void Rays, and those queens are getting slaughtered. Big Ling Bane attack comes in, though. Will it matter, though? The Adept Warpins, the Banelings are there. The Void Rays are going to come back. And look at this. One more Sentry Warp in, Showtime. Oh, no more Sentry Warp in. Oh, no more Sentry Warp in. Run those probes, lad. Run those. Oh. There's a lot of Void Rays. He's got oh, my God. His gateways are all gone. Guys, right now, Showtime is on 0 gate production. It's like, why doesn't he just warp in a Sentry or a Zealot? He don't have gateway. He just has 2 Stargates only and a Robo as production. But I don't think it matters, guys, because once again, Showtime there defended with 69 probes. He goes up to 70. He says, you guys have had long enough to celebrate the fact that you as a community have got that prize pool up. I just keep showing it to you guys. What can I say? Pig may have given me a $500 bonus to sneak the number 69 into this series as many times as possible. Serral does cancel the gold base, but it's gonna have to pull on back. So now, guys, we get to see if Serral truly is a wizard. Like, actually, no. We know Serral's a wizard, but is he a god? Is he maybe not like a high level god, but like, you know, a minor deity? Is he? Is he? That's what we find out. Because if he comes back in this game, we have to get down on our knees and worship Serral as one. None of this, spam your ferals for Serral. It's like, no, seriously, give up 10% of your income and write him a check right now if you're a real StarCraft fan, because it is going to be a hard uphill crawl. Like, how the hell? He's down 10 workers. His 4th base just rebuilt. He has 11 queens, 41 zerglings versus a Protoss that's already on carriers going to +2 attack. He's got Flux Veins on the way. He's going to add a ground transition with a Twilight. He's got a 4th. Protoss is up 10 probes, ahead on tech, ahead on upgrades. Serral does not have a Spire yet. And I think he's saying, I'm so behind, I can't even get one. I'm just going to make Queens and Infestors and try to win the air battle with Queens and Infestors. I mean, it could work. It could work, guys. Sorry, accidentally flipping the scoreboard back and forth there. Oh, it's going to be hard, though. Can't wait to hear Lambo's thoughts out there on how that Queen Walk was executed. You know, a lot of people used to say Lambo, so critical of Korean players. Let's be real, though. Lambo, one of the gods of the Queen Walk out there. I think him and Alaza together, shaking their heads in disapproval. Probably know 37 different mistakes each that Serral made in that push. Personally, it looked pretty good to me, but that doesn't look pretty good for Showtime. Oh, he's got cannons, though. Having a cannon in the mineral line turns his attack from, yes, I got into, oh, this might be worth it. His carrier's popping in the main. Oh, recall to the main. Showtime just lost 0 probes. So, you know, he loses mining time. I don't think it's the worst thing for Serral. But if you have those safety cannons in your base, this is something I've just learned. I used to never think, oh, don't build static for any reason. Once you get to 3 or 4 bases as Protoss, you should just always have a cannon and a battery in each mineral line. And then you just leave your wall open. You go, oh, no, my door's open. And it's almost like you're just welcoming the intruders into your house. But, you know, you've got all sorts of Home Alone style traps set up everywhere. And unless they get in with like a ton of big units, it's not going to make that big of a diff. Now, Burrowed Zergling. Oh, no, that's not Burrowed. It's just blocking Zergling, I guess. And let's clean all this up. Showtime here. Looking pretty good in that units loss tab. He's like, yeah, after last game where Serral was so efficient, this definitely feels much better. And no Psystorm. Oh, I think he's going to go. Is he going to go? Showtime? I'm surprised he's not adding Psystorm. He's a little supply blocked right now, but it feels like he's saying, I have an advantage. Let's go. Zealot, Archon, Carrier. He's going up to 10 gateways, maybe 11 or 12 gates even. So I think he just maxes on Zealot Archon. He knows Serral's so focused on defending the air. How does he deal with the Zealot Archon? Queen Infest is good for killing air. 1 or 2 more Archon rounds, a few more Zealots, and does Mass Queen Infesta beat literally everything Protoss has? Because I feel the answer's no, especially when he's only got 1-1 upgrades kicking in for them. But maybe. Oh, Showtime's waiting for Mama. I have talked a little bit about how Showtime is such a defensive wall that he misses aggressive opportunities sometimes. I think it was against Beyond in their first series where he did miss a bunch of aggressive opportunities when he got ahead. And ended up losing that first series. He won the rematch there, of course, with some spectacular adjustments, but it's one of those things where even here, I think he's missing an opportunity to just A-move that army with Archon Zealot from a big spready. But losing a few units at a time like that, not particularly good. I'd like to see him just overwhelmed. Prism in the main, Spores are going to go over there. You don't want to give Serral time, guys. If you give Serral long enough, he will God mode this. And that early lead, I mean, maybe Showtime not as confident in the position. He doesn't see all the numbers we do. And how do you weigh up the damage? When you lost 10, 15 probes early, you killed all the queens, you killed his fourth, but then he got some Ling run buys in. There's been a lot of chaos. You're down 0-2. You're playing Serral, the best ZvP player of all time, potentially the best Zerg of all time. I mean, how do you just know it's time to attack? Right? He doesn't get all these numbers that tell us exactly where the opponent's at, the production tab that we get to see. And I mean, it just goes to show the number of times I've cast the best players in the world and they've said, oh, I didn't realize I was way ahead. Oh, he grabs 4 of the Void Rays going for the run by. Serral says, no, you cheeky Protoss. Grabs 4 Void Rays, brings them over and kills them. The other 5 Void Rays huddling in the corner. They do not want to go down that way. Showtime is looking for the perfect composition. But as I said, Showtime is Demour. He is at his best when he is defending an opponent's committed attack. The reason why Showtime, even though he sometimes looks a bit technically better than Serral in some regards, struggles against Serral, is because Serral will not just go for him. Serral is a slow, long-term efficiency player who just looks for good fights. And that's basically his whole style summed up. High Templar, Storm, Archon. Oh, he didn't get the Archon morphs off, so not a terrible trade for the Lingbane. I wouldn't say it's great, but it could have been worse. Does get, I think, 4 High Templar there, so definitely needs to replace those, but now they're very low on energy. Oh, Ultras. Space Cows are here as well, guys. He's going to go Space Cow, and then he's just going to neural everything. Guys, that is 10 Infestors, and there's no Disruptors. There's very little Storm. How many? What's he got for detection? 2 Observers. If those Observers get fungled down, he won't even be able to see the Burrowed Infestors neuraling his units. Oh, no. Guys, I think Serral is looking for the bigger brother move. He's going to take Showtime's arm and slap him in the face with it. Will it work? Will it work? Oh, okay, here come the Infestors. They land a big fungal, but all the carrier focus fire on them. Can he land the Neurals to finish it up? The Ultras are getting slaughtered. Neurals going out. One of the carriers, a few of the carriers do get taken. Mama falls, but the Archons rain down. Great Protoss justice. Serral there goes for the grabbing the arm of Showtime. Showtime does some kung fu shit, slaps his arm down and says, no. The power of the Archon compels you. He blasts on through, the splash damage cleansing the Queens and the Infestors off the map after dealing with the Ultras before that. And finally getting a point on the board there after a fantastic early defense of the Queen Lingbane walk. Well played from the wall. All right, guys, let's go. Serral has dropped a map here. His all-in not quite working out for him. In the top right side, representing NC Sports, it's Serral. And in the bottom left side, in the blue, it is Showtime. Now, we've actually just experimented with turning like textures down a little bit and so on, as this map does have some performance issues for some people out there. And let's just say, no matter how good your computer is, StarCraft, an archaic system, running, of course, almost purely on a single core and being incredibly CPU intensive, even for all of the graphics, which you'd think would be GPU, but it's almost all your processor. So as a result, we've turned those down, and that is because this map is big, it is gigantic, and it is a map where it's very likely to get to late game. Because of that, we know there's likely to be about 1,000 units on the screen at once, you know, broodlings, maybe interceptors flying all over the shop, so just doing a bit of prep there. We'll see if it pays off, and we've still got ragdolls and all the cool bits, so we can see chunks of bodies flying everywhere and that sort of stuff. We're not going to go quite to pro gamers streaming level, where you're like, oh, what's this game from 1996? And they're like, oh, no, we just turned every graphics to minimum. But hopefully it does tone things down just a little. As once again, guys, no attempts to all in between these two. Now, some of you might be like, dude, it's so boring. They always open the same at the start. What you've got to remember is this has come from them trying to all in each other so much, so many different players over the years, that it has actually gotten to a point where, like, we've seen Serral get cannon rushed and slap it down. We've seen Serral deal with weird 1-base all-ins and slap it down, 12 pulls, hit Showtime, and he just pulls his probes and out micros it. They're so good defensively against these things that really the attacks that have a bit more variability, a bit harder to read, and a bit more, I think, kind of chances of working, they often come off at least 2 bases of workers, you know, and up quite a little bit there. So we'll see exactly how it goes. The spawning pool has got Ling Speed on the way as well. Void Ray is on the way. Adept about to pop out. Now you're always looking at when that Void Ray finishes, or even before it. Because if you want to mix in something like a couple of quick Glaive Adepts, that's got to go down right about now. But for now, Showtime, he likes that quick third base. And I think honestly, for Serral, it's probably even a tell. I was talking about this the other day where someone's following up with Glaive Adepts or some other form of earlier aggression. You often see the third go down after the 4-minute mark. Doesn't seem like a big thing to the untrained eye, but look at Showtime. He's often getting his before 3 minutes 50. 3:44, so darn fast on that. And that is, oof, delicious. Third hatchery is there. Queens are on the way. More queens. Spores going down as well. And we've got +1 air weapons. Ooh, immediately. Okay. Okay. Yep, 2 more gases. Second Stargate. I like this build order. Now, we actually got to see a really cool build order, of course, with 3 gases and 2 workers on each gas a little while back. Just the other day, and that was a build where you can actually get a lot more Void Rays out very quickly, but ooh, okay, 2 more drones do go down. And make it 3. Guys, that is the... Showtime right now is like just scratching his head. He's like, wait, is this still Serral? Did we just stumble into the discount store? Is there 3 drones with my first Oracle? He's like, I've literally never got that many kills against Serral in my life. It normally takes me like 4 run-bys to do that. Serral's probably a little bit triggered already. He's like, nah, 3 drones, god damn it. Honestly, he's fine. He's droning so hard, it really does not matter. That's like quite standard. It's just uncharacteristic for Serral to take any damage as we've seen in this series until the second or the third run by, until the Adepts join up with it. There's a lot of Void Rays coming out behind this, guys. So he's pumping out 2-star Voids, 6 gases going up. It's going to be a bit of a Sky Toss versus Zerg war. Now, we saw the Spire do very well. It wasn't really a full Sky Toss situation, but we did see that Spire do really well as a surprise maneuver. I don't think it's nearly as effective against someone who's already pumping Void Rays, unless you completely trick them, get all the way across the map without them seeing it, and then it can still play out pretty well. But it's just having 2 Stargates. We'll probably see a third one come down soon since there's already a Fleet Beacon. I don't really see it looking all that good. 4 Queens out here, but he's already got 4 Void Rays. Ooh, you know what? The Queens are off creep, but every single one has transfused. This is not going to work out for Showtime. He can obviously drain a few transfuses, but, oh, maybe gets a Queen. Oh, good micro, he does, actually. Oh, very nice. Oh, he gets 1, he gets 2. Okay, never mind, guys. The power of Void Ray micro. Oh, the wall. He overextends. Does it matter, though? 50 energy, 50 energy. Oracle comes in and adds damage. No chance to heal there. Oh, this is a great trade for Showtime now. I think he's very happy with this. Another Void Ray rallies in. The Oracle will fall. Spores there. He's got to pull those red hit point Void Rays back. Oh, he's got to be careful. 1 Void Ray, 1 Oracle for 6 Queens. Holy crudsicles. Showtime there. Taking some amazing trades. Serral, I'm looking into his eyes on that camera as I do after moments like this, and I'm looking to read his mind. Guys, some have said that when I look at tea leaves in a cup, I can often tell what's going to happen the next day. People say that when I rub my crystal ball and look at the wrinkles on your hands, I can tell you what's going to happen in your life in the future. And I can tell you, looking at Serral's face right now, I can feel a couple of words. They're repeating over and over. And, dirty Protoss. Ah, it's dirty. Okay, dirty Protoss is echoing over and over again in Serral's mind right now. He's a little upset by losing all of his queens there. I'm pretty sure that's an accurate mind read, guys. You guys can reference me on that one. it definitely does come straight from the Finnish Phenom's brain into my mouth. So, guys, I am a medium for StarCraft players' thoughts live during games. So don't forget to share your thoughts as well in the chat if you guys are also mind readers or psychics. Maybe you guys are picking up some extra thoughts there as well. We've got Charge on the way as well, +2 air. I honestly think Serral will bounce back from it pretty quickly because he's on 5 bases. He's on 88 drones. He's got 10 queens. He's got 3 more, 8 corruptors, a hive on the way. I mean, Showtime's like, awesome, I got damage, but he didn't kill the hatchery, and this base is still up. If he got this base as well, like, it's like the damage would have opened up another layer of damage, then I'd be a little bit heavier on it. But as it is, I think that's got to feel like a good start. You've got a lot of breathing room. And this does make me think about, you know, can you hit a carrier timing? And the thing is, guys, Parting, Zaun, Max Packs, these guys have been doing so many amazing carrier timings, right? They hit with +2 trap as well, +2 attack, they get in there like bam, bam, bam. You know, they're overwhelming and smashing through. I keep looking for those timings because I've seen them kind of be this great way to avoid a static late game, right? And a lot of Protoss want to avoid that. On the other hand, we are watching Showtime. So keep in mind, usually when Showtime attacks, it's to secure another base and another upgrade. It's not to kill the opponent. It's a positional small advantage thing. And it's, you know, it's 2 guys who are just looking for that. And it's who can micro better in those scenarios. And I think both of them look fantastic when the other player overcommits to an attack, which is why you get a meta between these 2 players of I'll poke, I'll prod, but I don't really want to overcommit because historically that does not serve me well against you. Oh, good fight here for Showtime as he gets 1 Corruptor only, actually. So I thought he'd get a few more big splash shots off. You can see the Corruptors took big Archon hits there. But a Void Ray for a Corruptor, a great trade for Serral. Oh, he gets a carrier. Oh, he's going to get 2. Oh my god. The position in the middle, right over the terrain where the air units separate from the ground. The Archon's not doing their job to protect the army. And now, oh no, another carrier. Oh, it's a disaster! Serral with the jellyfish ambush in the middle of the map! And he absolutely annihilates this push before it even gets going. And Showtime has to run home, tail between his legs. Oh, a sad, defeated look on the face of that carrier, that's for sure. I mean, he's still hanging out like he's like, oh, I'm acting scary. Oh, I'm doing scary Protoss things. But right now, Serral, he's just like, dude, I took out all the important units. 4 carriers, 4 Void Rays for 10 Corruptors is an amazing trade, and I think Showtime needs to pull back. I do not like him still attacking here, because there's a lot of Roach Bane as well. He's got to get out. He's got to get out right now. I think he wants to recall, but he's gone in too deep. Oh, the Banelings! They get great hits on the Zealots on the left side. The Void Rays get a decent little fight for a moment, but yeah, Showtime way overextending. He's going to try and run home. Loses a bunch of Void Rays. That Archon will go down. He's going to get home with 2 Void Rays and a pack of Zealots, but Showtime, after that fight, like I said, he's got to pull back. He thought he could still kind of posture up and scare Serral. Was not the case. Was not the case at all. As 2-2 upgrades start up. Pathogen Glands, Vipers, second Spire on the way. Serral preparing for super endgame. Showtime says, let's make 30 Zealots and go. I was talking about timing attacks before. It looked like Showtime wanted to do one, but it just got ambushed and taken out. And an amazing just way to abuse this terrain in the middle of the map where Serral knew the units were going to automatically split up. So, I mean, the way he kind of baited him and danced around him with the Corruptors was fantastic. Obviously, mistakes made by Showtime, but Serral setting up for it so darned well. Roachling doing an engage. Queens on the right do get caught by the Zealots. Lots of transfusers going down, though. We'll keep them all alive. Every single one. All right. 7 Zealots for energy and a Queen. Oof. Good fight for Serral there. Does drain a lot of the transfuse, but he's now got 8 Broodlords on the way. He's got an Ultra Cavern. Second Spire coming up. Those Broodlords morphing out the front. Showtime will easily be able to remax, and we've seen that he's very good in the late game. The question is, how does he choose to play it? This is once again similar to 2000 Atmospheres, where, yeah, I don't know. You've got a small Infestor contingent, a small Viper contingent, a pack of Broodlords. You don't have that many Corruptors, but, I mean, there's no real carriers, right? It's just Void Rays, Archon, Zealots, and he's going to add Sidestorm, but I think at this point, Showtime needs to think more about, let's go to my ideal composition. And I think that's what both players need to be thinking about at all times in these games, just because of who their opponent is. These aren't the guys who are just going to swing across and kill you with an advantage. they're going to take more upgrades and build more of an advantage. These guys both constantly have an Artosis track in their brain saying, win ahead, get more ahead, win ahead, get more ahead, win ahead, get more ahead. It's like the complete style that they play is use a lead to secure more upgrades, more bases, maybe deny a base, but they're very rarely looking for a kill move. They're just looking for you to make more mistakes than them over the course of the game. And that's not a bad way to play, but I think it does potentially give you room to get back in it if you focus on when behind, don't worry about dying. Worry about getting back into a winning position. And right now, I see Mass Void Ray, a couple High Templar and Archon, a few Zealots. Not my favorite composition. Showtime is going to make the Mothership, adding one carrier back in. But what are the final pieces of this army? Because he tried to play Tempests on 2,000 Atmospheres. He played carriers earlier in this game for a timing attack. And I wonder where you go. I'm so interested to see what he thinks the solution is. And RoboBay goes down. Okay, Mass Infestors and Queens get countered by that. But this time it's only 3 Infestors. So this is not really an army that necessarily requires Disruptors. They can still be useful. Oh my god, guys, he's doing a Mass Void Ray Storm Drop army. Okay. Oh, this is some Zest style stuff. Showtime is channeling his inner Zest. He's like, yeah, I'll run in, kill a base, storm drop your stuff, and then recall out. And then I'll recall to the other side of the map with Mothership, do it again. Speaking of which, where is Mama? There she is. Gathering energy in the back. Roachbane coming forward. The Changeling's trying to get in. They're actually kind of blocking Serral, funnily enough, from getting to that Zealot. Oh, he's trying to get the +3. Oh, if he can deny +3, that would be massive. Oh, Showtime's going to be triggered, man. It was about to finish, bro. Oh, so worth. In this scenario, it's so hard to get in and do big damage, but upgrades are so important. And Serral, oh, he actually rolled in with Banelings as well and killed 21 probes. Apologies for missing that, guys. Looks like 10 Banelings just killed 21 probes, or something killed 21 probes. Anyway, Tempest does get abducted and goes down. Showtime trailing in this game. He's rebuilding 2 Cybercores right now to catch up on those upgrades. A small pack of Corruptor Viper bullying him right now. And now Serral takes control of the center of the map. Ooh, yeah, I mean, he's added some Tempest, so there's 3 out, 4 carriers on the way. But look at the control over the middle. Oh no, it's Spore Forests everywhere. Spore Spine Forest there. He's so set up for the late game. Showtime has already pulled his probes away from there at least, but can't let Serral control too much of the map. Clearing up this creep down here, a good idea. Does clean that one up. Space taking some damage. Could come forward with his Tempests and pick away at those Broodlords if they keep sieging, so Serral pulls back for now. He's getting 3-2 air upgrades, as well as 3-3 ground upgrades. And +3 starts up, as well as +1 air armor on the double Cybercore that got replaced. Now this time around, the Banelings will not find the mark on that base. Archon Zealot Tempest cleans it up. Lings and Roaches in the top left. Gonna be a bit of a nuisance. The Void Rays were trying to hide from this, and then they realized, wait a second, I've got to defend that base. Showtime. It looks like he's trying to ambush Serral, to be honest, with this army. It really feels like he's waiting for Serral to split up too much, and he's just going to jump on the Broodlords, kill them with Void Rays, and then, like, storm and feedback that. It feels like that's what he's waiting for. Oof. Roach is going to come in on the top side. Battery's unattended right now, and no supply free for Showtime. Void Rays, Zealots, Archons come back down. We'll clean those Roaches up. Broodlords on the right side, sieging the Nexus over there. Ooh-wee. Oh, this Broodlord's a little bit far forward for Serral. Oh, he's going for the Void Ray move again. Now remember, guys, Showtime has double recall. He has Mama recall here, and he has Nexus recall. Oh, no, Serral! Oh, snapped! Ow, 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 ow. Warp Prism gets snapped. Void Rays need to recall right now. He's got to get out. This is a doomed endeavor. Oh, and he does say, go without me. This captain will go down with his ship. The High Templar go down. Carrier, Tempest, and an Archon pushing on this side. He's going to use that He baited the Corruptors out of position. Now he clears up this creep forest. This is the sort of positioning that can get you back in the game for sure. It's going to clear up this whole forward area. But when he's sending Zealots up the top as well, there is an Archon and a few Lings and Banes to help Serral defend. Will he be able to defend it? They're going to click on that hatchery. I think that hatchery is toast at the very least. So not too bad. Showtime fighting back. He did it on 2,000 atmospheres. He's doing it here again. Checking in on the units lost tab. Remember, Showtime is right now 7,000 resources behind in the units lost tab. Ooh, juicy Banelings. So we'll track in on that. It's about, let's just say 8,000 now, 7.5. We'll check back in on that to see how that varies. So if that gap closes, if it gets back to even, it actually means Showtime's being very cost efficient. But if it gets even bigger, well, this is going to be a real tough one. Ultra Bane on the top, but he's got 5 Archons morphing to defend that base. Ooh, watch out for the Spellcasters. Infestor's coming forward. Oh, Serral does get a nice fungal. Tempest shooting at those Broodlords. Spores will deflect the carriers for now. Archon does deflect the Baneling Ultra run by. Few Overlords over on this right side go down. And I feel like he's kind of cornering himself. But I mean, Serral doesn't have a mobile army, so maybe kill the hatch and then just rotate back. Some Ling Banes still running on in on this base. He's going to burrow it? That's a mistake. Uh-oh. That gets deflected for a moment. Does it, though? He's going to try and neural the Archons? Oh, Baneling's transferring in the middle of a fight. The Archons kill the neural. The Archons just killed the transfer. Meanwhile, this army looking for a way in. He gets one Broodlord. Can he kill any more? Doesn't look like it. The Archons getting neuraled. They do get turned back around, though. And you know what? That base is defended. He recalls out. The Oracle does get a tag off before going down. Ooh, nice fungal going on down. Okay. Serral on 11,000 resources in the bank. Showtime on 6. He's actually making headway. And that seems promising. But I know to not get excited because Serral right now, it feels not like he's losing. Making headway feels kind of like you're venturing further and further into the crocodile's jaws, you know? Like, you're like, oh, I'm getting in further. Maybe that means I'm winning. I don't know if when you're stepping this deep into a crocodile's mouth, that means winning. Sniping a hatch again. I mean, this is great damage for Showtime. When push comes to shove, though, can his army beat Serral's army? Oh, he's going to recall again. Mama! Recalls an army in over here, and he says, oh, did I just snipe a hatch? Now I'm gonna snipe another hatch. Are you having fun now, Serral? Serral's like, ooh, wait until I land a fungal parasitic bomb on you, mate. You just wait. Like, you know, Serral is waiting for some more of those combos he was landing on 2,000 atmospheres. When he lands those, there is going to be some sweet, sweet revenge for all these hatchery snipes. 3 hatcheries have been killed, not to mention the building ones that were cancelled. And this army going to move down that right side of the map as well. He's going to try to move in and snipe this hatchery. Zealots pulling back through the mid. Changelings over there as well. That Overlord does get pushed back. Another hatchery going down. Killed, not cancelled. Units lost tab. Still 7,000 apart. Showtime's only closed that very slightly. Both players not on the biggest worker counts. I actually think Showtime, it's kind of scary for him because you almost want to build more probes so you can mine more. But on the other hand, you don't because you really want to have a giant army. And he's going to go Blink, +2 air armor, +3 or +2 plasma shields, as well as the Tectonic Destabilizers. That is right. The Tempest anti-building upgrade damage turns their shots orange. As you're going to see, against buildings, well, when it kicks in, their ground attack will turn orange. Mass Changelings coming in for the scout. Serral right now is just chilling, right? He's chilling, he's taking damage, but his army's not going down. He's just losing control. A few feedbacks go down for Showtime. And I think Serral at this point is a little frustrated, but he is, like I said, he is just waiting. And like the patient crocodile waiting for that silly creature to climb into its mouth. He's holding deadly still and waiting for Showtime to overstep, and Showtime's dancing on the edge. He's doing it very well. It's working. Will it keep working? Ooh, Fungal plus Queen slaughtering some interceptors there. Zealot's going to try to defend over here on this side. Okay, the Zealots will overwhelm those Ultras, but getting a Nexus kill, not bad at all there. Oh my lord, Zealots suck versus Ultras, guys. Oh my lord, Zealots suck versus Ultras. I knew they weren't great, but damn. Oh, man. Ow. Gets another hatchery snipe in the bottom. I think these trades in the top left are actually just counteracting how bad the trades are in the bottom right. Look at the units lost. It's actually gotten bigger. It's 7.5 plus 1.5. That's 9. Showtime is losing this game. He's denying hatcheries. And Serral's like, I don't care. I'm winning. I'm winning the trades. And Showtime's like, can you come out and defend your territory so I can take good trades? Serral's just like, nope. We're going to wait for you to lose this game. Serral here, I mean, this is the original ZvP attrition master. He's just like, yeah, you want to make plays, you want to win battles? I'm just going to burn down your fields. I'm going to lock myself in behind my towers, behind my walls, and I'll go around and burn your village every now and then. I'm going to burn the food stocks. We're doing some, like, just scorched earth tactics. And even there, 2 High Templar and a carrier. Fantastic trades for Serral. He's going to come forward and deny another base. This is what Serral is a master of. Serral is the man who gives you a hug, and only a minute later when you go, what a nice man that was, you realize he stabbed you 13 times in the kidney. And you're like, oh, I'm literally... And you pass out from blood loss before even realizing he stabbed you. The man cuts you with 1,000 different paper cuts, and you don't even realize you're bleeding at first. You're just like, whoa, what? And how do you find a good fight here is Showtime? It's not. This is... anyone out there who's like balance whining? Nothing in this is about balance. This is not about balance. This is a Serral versus Showtime problem. I mean, in these games, they've both done things that look so powerful, but how does one man beat someone who is so focused as Serral? I look at his face, and I'm like, it doesn't match up with the actions. He looks so laser focused and intense, but his play almost looks like he's just patient and lazily roaming the map, and he's just like, just waiting for you to make a mistake. Come on, mate. Just waiting for you to make a mistake. And Showtime's like, God damn, dude, let me take a base. Give me an opening. He's trying these big plays, and every time they get spotted, every time there's an Overlord spotting his Void Ray run by, spotting his maneuver. So Showtime down here with an army. Now, it's dangerous because his Void Rays aren't there. He could get jumped on, right? He sees the army, the Void Rays have to dive. And as the Void Rays pull him out of position, this army will dive up and try to clear these 2 bases, which, by the way, are mostly mined out, so they're not that important. Let's see what he can get. Corruptors are responding. Void Rays are pulling south to defend the Lingbane Ultra. He does pull his probes off the base, so good movements, honestly, by Showtime. And I think he will defend that base very efficiently. Yeah, Ultralisk should go down. Indeed, it does. Army moves forward in the bottom right. He's got to be careful to not get caught by Fungal. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Serral, the aggro lord, he's looking, he's hungry. He says, Mama's here, I sniff her, and oh, he gets her. Nasty, nasty moves there by Serral. Manages to take out. I don't know, did he spot her over there? How did he know she was there? He dives in with that killer instinct, that deadly instinct. He knew that she was around, and he wanted that 800 resources knocked off the map. A delicious kill there for Serral, and he continues to build. He's up to 10,000 resources ahead in the units lost tab. He's sitting on 42 drones and 19,000 resources in the bank. Serral is about to go above the 20k club, and that is just wild. Seriously, at that point, they hand you your very own Caprulu Sector Black Amex card with bloody diamonds encrusted into it, you know? It's the point where people are like, oh, okay. Like, Serral can throw his credit card at people and it'll injure them. It's that heavy. He's getting an Archon over here. Showtime. His Zealot's trying to warp into defend. He's still looking for these fights. But look at how much this creeper's thrust forward. This is the biggest problem for Showtime. He needs to get rid of this area. And he hasn't been able to do it. That should actually be his target. He's been going around the flanks too much, and he's let Serral take control of the middle. Serral's given up control of the flanks. He's taken the center, and when he takes the center, he limits Showtime's mobility. Notice how now Showtime gets pressed all the way against the edge of the map just to disengage, and this allows Serral to take so many liberties. He says, well, you're nowhere near up here. You can't defend this base very easily. I'm going to come in with yet another attack. Baneling's coming in. The Zealots. Probes! Oh, you Chad. Serral, Chad Gamer, burrowing Banelings behind the mineral line. Not like this. Not like this. Showtime. Oh, Showtime, don't do it. Okay, I think he realizes. He sends him to the other base. Showtime is wise. He does not fall for that. And the army does come over. Doesn't have detection there right now. Broodlord sieging the bottom. Showtime gives up ground. He's got to take control of the center, or at least remove control from Serral. I think Zaun against Raynor. Yesterday we saw some expert play. The way he took control of the center of Blackburn with cannon battery outposts, kind of the way Serral's moving these spores around, and just chipped at him with the Tempests. Great disruptors chipping away at the Zerg. Tempest, Storm, perfect feedbacks. Like the way Zaun controlled that looked like some of the most, you know, perfect PvZ. And that's why I'm actually kind of dreaming now about Zaun versus Serral in a late game scenario, and seeing if Zaun looks as godlike or if Serral just gives him a taste of the business. But as it is, Showtime still running around this map. He's got a lot of supply that's not amazing. 11 Zealots in there. The Immortals are very helpful versus the Ultras. It's not that many. 27 Corruptors out. Big fight! The fungal parasitic bomb combo lands on the Void Rays. Big fungal combos. The Broodlord's taking down some of those High Templar. The Corruptors have mostly evaded the Storm before the fight has really happened, and the ground army's gone for Showtime. Another parasitic bomb on the north of these Void Rays. This is a disaster, I think, for Showtime, because there's still so many Corruptors left. Even though a lot of the army went down, look at the Corruptors focusing down the air units. Serral also had the bank to back it up. And at the end of an arduous series, a long PvZ, forced to the late game, he does win.